It's been 5 hours already, and I can feel the spell beginning to weaken. In less than an hour, space will fade completely. With my current strength, 6 hours is the absolute limit. Honestly, I never thought I'd be able to hold it this long. When I first cast the spell, I could barely maintain it for 30 minutes. 6 hours. That alone feels like a miracle. I pressed harder on the gas pedal. We're close to the coven. We stayed near the forest line, hidden beneath the shadows of the trees. I could already feel Ulrich growing restless inside me. She needed to shift soon. I pulled the car over. Quickly, I changed out of my clothes and left them behind in the back seat. Then I lifted my hand toward the gas tank and released a single spark of fire. Only seconds later, the explosion tore through the silence of the forest. I didn't look back. That fire, that smoke, it was the last piece of my old life burning away behind me. And for the first time in years, I started running toward a new one. Ulrich, we don't know which pack owns this territory, I warned softly. I can still use the space spell for now, but once we shift, hiding our scent will become almost impossible. Ulrich's voice echoed warmly inside my mind. Don't worry, I have my own way. A small laugh escaped me. All right, it's happening now. Clear your mind, Dora. I slowed my breathing as her voice wrapped around me like silk. Imagine a beautiful river at the edge of the mountains. Hear the water flowing over the rocks. Listen to the birds singing in the trees. Feel the peace around you, because this moment belongs only to us. The forest around me slowly faded. No one can take our peace away. No one can touch our happiness. A strange warmth spread through my chest. Now let me take over, Ulrich whispered. Let your body and soul become one with mine. The pain came first. A sharp crack echoed through my body as my bones began to shift beneath my skin. For one terrifying second, it felt like I was breaking apart. But deep down, I knew the truth. I wasn't breaking. I was becoming something new. Another crack, then another. My entire body twisted with unbearable heat as every bone, every muscle, every nerve reorganized itself into something stronger, wilder. And then, silence. When I opened my eyes, the whole world had changed. Every color looked brighter. Every sound carried through the forest like music. Every scent wrapped around me in waves so intense, it almost stole my breath away. The earth, the trees, the rain trapped in the soil, life itself. It was overwhelming, beautiful. Then Ulrich lifted her head toward the sky and howled. The sound tore through the mountains like moonlight given a voice. It was the most beautiful thing I had ever heard. I expected the forest to fall silent. I expected birds to scatter and animals to flee in fear. But nothing ran. The forest listened. The birds stayed hidden in the trees, singing softly around us as if they recognized her, as if the entire forest welcomed the grey wolf home. What about scent? I asked carefully. Ulrich's voice rumbled warmly inside my mind. Dora, I never told you before because the time wasn't right. But we are alphas. I froze. I know you never search for information about grey wolves, she continued softly, because you didn't want to draw unnecessary attention to yourself. But grey wolves are born alphas. Shock rushed through me. I always knew Ulrich was special. Powerful. Different. But an alpha? You mean, even Derek's command affected us? I asked quietly. Ulrich let out a low growl of annoyance. Useless alpha, she muttered. No true alpha can command us. None of them. A chill ran down my spine. You'll understand everything soon, she said. This is a path we must walk together. If I tell you every answer now, then I'll be carrying this burden alone. Her voice softened again. We will discover the truth together, and when we do, our bond will become unbreakable. I felt her presence wrap around my soul like silver fire. It will make you stronger, Dora. Strong enough to become who you were always meant to be. The wind moved gently through the trees around us. Now, Ulrich whispered, let's hide our scent. A slow grin spread across my face as I lowered myself into a runner's stance. And let's run. Ulrich ran like the wind itself had claimed her. Freedom pulsed through our veins as we tore through the endless forest, leaving our old lives behind with every step. For hours, we ran beneath towering trees and silver moonlight spilling through the branches above us. And for the first time in my life, I felt free. Then we found the lake. The moment my eyes landed on the water, something inside me pulled toward it. Ulrich felt it too. Without hesitation, she sprinted toward the shoreline. The second I saw our reflection, my breath caught in my throat. Ulrich was breathtaking. Her fur shimmered in shades of silver grey, soft and mesmerizing beneath the light, almost identical to my own hair. But her eyes, those icy blue eyes held something ancient inside them. Calm, powerful, untouchable. Even through the reflection in the water, I could feel the overwhelming force radiating from her. Anyone who looked at Ulrich would know immediately what she was. An alpha. No, we were alphas. You're beautiful, Ulrich, I whispered softly. The most beautiful thing I've ever seen. A low chuckle echoed inside my mind. We are beautiful, Dora, she replied warmly. Beautiful together. A smile spread across my face as warmth flooded our bond. We rested beside the lake for a while before running again, deeper into the unknown. But something had changed between us. Our connection felt stronger now. Closer, like our souls had finally aligned completely. Hours later, I slowed to a stop. The air ahead of us shimmered faintly. A barrier. I narrowed my eyes, instantly recognizing the magic woven into it. Because I was a witch, it reminded me of my own protection spells. Except this barrier was far older, far more powerful. Curiosity pulled me closer. I reached out slowly, wanting to touch it, but stopped at the last second. I had no idea how the witches beyond the barrier would react to strangers appearing out of nowhere. So instead, I stepped back, lifted my voice toward the unseen magic surrounding us, and spoke clearly into the silence. I am Eudora Amana. The words left my lips slowly, carefully. For a moment the entire forest became silent. Even the wind seemed to stop breathing. I am the granddaughter of Clementine Amana, and the daughter of Augusta Amana. The moment I spoke my mother's name, I felt the air around us shift. The blood witch of this generation. The title felt strange on my tongue. Heavy, like something far bigger than me. Something I still didn't fully understand. I swallowed nervously before lifting my chin. I request an audience with the coven. My voice softened slightly. And asked to be taken under your protection. Silence followed instantly. A dangerous silence. The kind that makes your heartbeat sound too loud. For one terrifying second I thought they would reject me. Thought they would send me back. Back to the wolves. Back to him. Then suddenly, the second my words faded into the silence, 8 figures emerged from beyond the barrier, as if the magic itself had given them permission to step through. At the very front stood a striking woman with long crimson hair cascading over her shoulders like fire beneath the moonlight. 3 witches stood behind her, and 4 more guarded the rear. The air around them hummed with ancient power. For a moment, none of us spoke. Then, one by one, they lowered their heads respectfully. I froze. Confusion curled inside me as I stood there beneath their gazes. Back in the pack, wolves bowed because I was meant to become Luna one day. But this felt different. Heavier, older, almost reverent. I swallowed awkwardly before offering them a hesitant smile. Hello, and thank you for answering so quickly, I said softly. I came here because I need help. The red-haired woman lifted her gaze and smiled warmly. Not cold. Not suspicious. Warm. My name is Ava Morgan. She introduced herself gracefully. It's an honor to meet you, Miss Amana. Fire flickered gently at her fingertips before fading again. A fire witch. And a healer. I shifted uncomfortably beneath the title. Please, I said quickly, just call me Eudora. Ava's lips curled into a softer smile. You're very humble, miss. Eudora, she corrected herself carefully. Her eyes drifted toward the small backpack hanging from my shoulder. Is that truly all you brought with you? For the first time since leaving the pack, I almost laughed. The moment I stepped through the barrier, the world changed. I expected darkness, cold castles, shadowed streets, a place filled with fear and silence. Instead, it was beautiful. Warm golden lights illuminated the hidden town beneath the night sky. Small shops lined the cobblestone streets, their windows glowing softly like stars trapped behind glass. Laughter echoed faintly in the distance while magic pulsed through the air itself. It felt alive, completely different from everything I had imagined. Ava watched my reaction carefully, amusement dancing in her crimson eyes. Do you like it, Eudora? She asked gently. If you'd like, we can explore later. But first, we should head to the castle. They're already waiting for your arrival. I tore my gaze away from the glowing town, still trying to process everything around me. I love it, I admitted honestly. But I thought it would be darker somehow, more intimidating. A soft laugh escaped Ava. Well, she said with a playful smile, the vampires are usually the darker ones. My brows lifted instantly. Vampires? She smiled at my reaction and continued. The elders, Ava explained calmly. They already know you're here, and from what I've heard. Her smile widened slightly. They seem very excited to meet you. Confusion twisted painfully inside my chest. I don't understand, I whispered. I'm nobody. I spent my entire life trapped inside a pack that treated me like I was worthless. I only gained my freedom a few minutes ago. Ava's expression softened immediately. She inhaled slowly before speaking, her voice quieter now. Ava suddenly stopped walking. The warmth in her expression disappeared, replaced by something far more serious. All right, Eudora, she said quietly. Listen to me carefully, because I'm only going to say this once. The air around us shifted. Even the noise of the town seemed to fade into silence. You are the most powerful witch alive. My breath caught instantly. Ava continued before I could interrupt. You may not understand everything yet, but you will. This place, she gestured toward the glowing city surrounding us. This is your home. I stared at her in confusion. Your bloodline founded the coven centuries ago, she explained softly. Every generation had one blood witch, one protector, one balance keeper. Her crimson eyes locked onto mine. And now that person is you. A chill ran through my entire body. I can feel your power already, Ava whispered. And you're only 17. I couldn't speak. Couldn't breathe. All my life, I had been treated like nothing. Like a burden. Like someone weak. Disposable. But the way Ava looked at me now, it was almost reverence. You are blessed, Eudora, she continued gently. You are the light of our people. I slowly turned around. That was when I noticed them. People had gathered quietly along the streets. Some stood in front of their homes. Others outside glowing little shops. Every single one of them was watching me. Smiling. A few bowed respectfully as our eyes met. Then suddenly, cheers erupted through the street. Soft applause echoed around us while strangers waved warmly in my direction. My chest tightened painfully as voices began calling out one after another. Welcome home, blessed blood witch. Our savior has returned. Emotion burned behind my eyes so suddenly I almost forgot how to breathe. Nobody had ever looked at me like this before. Nobody had ever wanted me. And yet these people, they looked at me like I mattered. Like I belonged. It's good to be home, I whispered shakily. Ava smiled beside me. Do you understand now? She asked softly. I looked back at the crowd, overwhelmed. Why are they treating me like this? Ava's expression turned almost solemn. Because you are the blood witch, she said. The one destined to protect every kind, witches, wolves, vampires. All of us. Her voice lowered. You are the balance of nature itself, Eudora. The night wind moved gently through the glowing streets as she spoke the next words. You are the shadow of the goddess reborn. I smiled softly at Ava. Being a fire witch suits you, I teased gently. Ava laughed quietly, but my smile faded almost immediately as painful thoughts returned. Derek, Danny, Luke. For 16 years they had known me. Known my fears. My loyalty. My heart. And yet all they ever saw in me was power they could use for destruction. A weapon. But these people, these strangers who had met me barely minutes ago, already believed I would use my magic to protect instead of destroy. To love instead of control. The realization hit harder than I expected. Slowly, I reached for Ava's hand and squeezed it gently. Thank you, I whispered. I think that's the kindest thing anyone has ever said to me. A small smile touched my lips. And honestly, you can talk to me like that any time. Ava's eyes widened slightly before she sighed dramatically. I wish I could, she said with amusement. But technically you outrank almost everyone here. I blinked. What? She nodded. You are part of the coven now, Eudora. Your status is actually higher than head witch Mediline's. I nearly choked. There's a hierarchy, Ava explained with a grin. And yours sits very, very high. I stared at her in disbelief before suddenly smiling. Then let's make a deal. Ava tilted her head curiously. When we aren't doing official coven business, I said softly. We'll just be friends. The word felt strange leaving my mouth. Friends. I'd never really had a girlfriend before, I admitted quietly. And after everything that happened, I think I'd really like that. For a second, Ava simply stared at me, almost searching my face for proof that I meant it. Then she laughed warmly. Yes, she said immediately. I would absolutely love that. Eudora. My heart skipped. And somehow, it felt safe. Like warmth wrapping around the broken pieces inside me. Like maybe I wouldn't be alone anymore. After a short walk through the glowing streets, the the buildings slowly disappeared behind enormous ancient trees. Then I saw it. My steps froze instantly. A massive castle stood hidden beneath the branches of an enormous silver tree, whose roots twisted around towers and stone walls like living veins. Golden lights glowed through towering windows while magic shimmered softly through the air around it. My eyes widened. The place looked ancient, powerful, alive, and somehow, it felt like it had been waiting for me. The moment the enormous castle doors opened, I completely forgot how to breathe. "Holy goddess," I whispered. "She's magnificent." My eyes darted across the endless marble staircases wrapped in pink flowers, golden chandeliers hanging from impossibly high ceilings, and walls carved with ancient silver symbols that glowed faintly under candlelight. "How old is she?" I gasped dramatically. Because if this castle were a woman, I would absolutely ask her to marry me. Laughter echoed through the hallway instantly. I blinked before realizing everyone had stopped to stare at me. "Oh, right," I muttered sheepishly. "Sorry, I completely forgot you all existed for a second." That only made them laugh harder. Honestly, after running for hours, shifting for the first time, nearly dying, and discovering I apparently belonged to some ancient magical bloodline, I thought I deserved a little dramatic appreciation. I rubbed my face tiredly. "Also," I added while walking beside them, "I'm exhausted. I shifted for the first time today, ran through an entire forest, and escaped what felt like 500 psychotic werewolves chasing me." I paused. "You all do know I'm also a werewolf, right?" Every single one of them answered immediately. "Yes, we know." I blinked before grinning. "Oh, good. Because honestly, you're all weirdly cheerful about this, and I kind of love it." Ava smirked beside me. "We can keep them if you'd like, Your Highness." I gasped dramatically. "Oh no, it keeps getting better." More laughter echoed around us as we walked deeper into the castle. Everything inside looked unreal. Grand staircases covered in flowers. Crystal chandeliers sparkling like stars. Ancient paintings moving ever so slightly as if enchanted. It didn't feel cold like the Alpha Mansion. This place felt alive, warm, safe, beautiful. We slowly climbed the massive staircase until we finally stopped in front of enormous silver doors engraved with glowing moon symbols. The closer we got, the heavier my heartbeat became. The doors were breathtaking, ancient, powerful, beautiful in a way that almost didn't feel real. Ava turned toward me with a soft smile. "Ready?" I opened my mouth to answer, but suddenly, pain tightened sharply in my chest. I froze. Just for a second. It felt strange, distant, like someone far away was screaming for me. My fingers brushed against my chest instinctively as the feeling disappeared almost as quickly as it came. Ava tilted her head slightly. "Eudora." I blinked, then forced a small smile onto my face. Sorry, it was nothing, but my heart was still pounding strangely. Not from fear. Not anymore. For the first time in my life, I wasn't walking toward pain. I wasn't walking toward punishment. I was walking toward something unknown. Something that might finally become mine. I took a deep breath and smiled softly. "Sure, let's go."
The room was silent when I opened my eyes. Darkness still clung to the walls of the pack house, the first traces of dawn barely slipping through the curtains. Everyone else was asleep. But I couldn't sleep. Not today. Today was supposed to be different. Today, she would finally become mine. My mate. My Luna. My everything. A slow grin pulled up my lips as I imagined her standing beside me in front of the entire pack, silver hair glowing beneath the moonlight, those blue-gray eyes finally looking at me the way I looked at her. Forever. Mine. Then suddenly, agony ripped through my chest. I gasped so hard it felt like my lungs collapsed. Pain exploded inside me with terrifying force, violent and sharp, like invisible claws tearing through flesh and bone. It felt as if someone had shoved their hand into my ribcage and ripped my heart apart. I crashed onto my knees beside the bed. A broken scream tore from my throat. Nick. My entire body shook violently. The mate bond twisted inside me like something dying. No. Something was wrong. Something was horribly wrong. I screamed Nick's name. The bedroom door burst open so hard it slammed against the wall. Nick rushed inside, half awake, panic immediately flooding his face. Luke. What happened? I couldn't breathe, couldn't think. Every nerve inside my body burned. I grabbed my chest desperately, claws digging into my skin as another wave of pain nearly blacked me out. Where is she? My alpha voice thundered through the room so violently the windows trembled. Where is my mate? Nick froze. For 1 second his face went completely pale. Then suddenly, he stumbled sideways, gripping the wall with a strangled gasp. Pain crossed his face too. Oh no! Fear slammed into me instantly. Nick swallowed hard, eyes wide with horror. Someone left the pack. The moment those words left his mouth, screams echoed throughout the pack house. Then outside, then everywhere. Pain. The entire pack felt it. A pack shared everything. Strength, victory, happiness, joy. But loss spread like poison through the bond. Every wolf could feel when someone disappeared. The pain of losing one of their own. The pain of something being ripped away. But this was worse. So much worse. Because this wasn't just a wolf leaving the territory. This was a mate bond shattering. I screamed again, louder this time. The sound barely human anymore. And suddenly, I understood. Eudora left. Eudora rejected me. Inside my head, Dark whimpered painfully. Not growled, not roared. Whimpered. Broken. Mate left us. His voice quacked inside my mind. Go after her. Bring her back. She belongs to us. Tears burned my eyes instantly. No. The word came out shattered. I tried to stand, but my legs gave out immediately beneath me. The pain was unbearable. The bond inside me felt like it was tearing itself apart, strand by strand. I couldn't breathe. Couldn't think. Couldn't feel anything except her absence. The emptiness she left behind was swallowing me whole. And for the first time in my life, the feared alpha of the Black Moon pack broke completely. Dark howled inside my head in pure agony. The sound was so painful, I thought it would kill me. Then slowly, everything faded into darkness.